All right, welcome to Unit 1, Input 2. Let's get right into our vocabulary workout. All right, Route 4. Are you ready to get those language muscles fired up? Today, we're diving straight into your vocabulary companion for a serious workout. It's all designed to make your communication stronger, faster, and way more precise. So let's do this. Okay, let's kick things off. Our first set here is all about words for big ideas. Now, you can think of these as the absolute building blocks for any complex thought. This is our warm-up, you know? We're focusing on those core concepts you need to discuss theories and really get into the why behind things. First up on the list is the adjective abstract. This one's for anything you can't physically hold it in your hand. It exists purely in your mind. Think about concepts like justice or freedom or even happiness. They're incredibly powerful, right? Super real in their own way, but they are totally conceptual. And here's a classic way you'll see it used. We often talk about an abstract concept when we want to separate a big idea from a specific real-world example. It lets us talk about the pure idea all by itself. Next up, we've got the noun significance. Now, this is related to importance, for sure, but significance really zooms in on the effects and the consequences of something. So, for example, the significance of a historical event isn't just that it was important. It's measured by how it changed the world afterwards. It's all about the why. And this is where it gets really cool. We can actually flex this word. Check out its word family. This is like our first flexibility drill. If an event has great significance, we'd call it a significant event. And if it changed things in a big way, we say it changed significantly. And of course, you can just flip it on its head with the prefix in to get insignificant and insignificantly. Seriously, mastering these word families is a massive power-up for your fluency. Okay, let's move on to our next set and see how these ideas build on each other. We're going from those abstract ideas to the words we use for building worlds. This is kind of the heavy lifting part of our workout. We're talking about the language of creating systems, societies, and whole organizations. So here we have the verb to administer. Now, this is a pretty powerful formal verb. It means to manage and organize something really big and complex. You wouldn't say you administer your homework, right? But a government will absolutely administer a country, or a CEO will administer a company. It really implies a sense of control and very careful organization. And just look at its super versatile family. The noun administration refers to the whole group doing the managing. The person in charge? That's the administrator. And all the work they do, the paperwork, the organizing, that's all administrative. So one root word gives you 3 essential tools for your vocabulary toolkit. Pretty useful, huh? And here's a really powerful combination you'll see in your vocabulary companion: to administer justice. This means to manage the entire legal system, to make sure there's fairness and that the law is being applied. It just shows the massive scale and seriousness of this verb. Okay, next up, the verb to establish. Now, this is so much more than just to start. When you establish something, you're building it on a really strong foundation. The idea is that it's meant to be permanent, to be stable. You establish a company, you establish a university, or you establish a set of rules. And this is a perfect example from your vocabulary companion. When you establish a community, you're not just, getting a few people together for a weekend. No way. You're building the foundations, the connections, the shared rules, the structures, all the stuff that will help it survive and thrive for a long, long time. All right, let's look at the noun code. And just to be clear, we're not talking about computer code here. In this context, a code is a formal, written set of rules that tells people how to behave. Think of a legal code, a moral code, or even a dress code. It's basically the official rulebook for a group. And this is a phrase you are going to see everywhere, from giant corporations to universities. A code of conduct is a document that establishes the very specific rules for how everyone in that organization has to act. It's a fundamental piece of creating a structured and fair environment. Okay, so we've used our words to build the systems. Now what? Let's populate them. Our third set is all about people and society. This is the human element that brings all these structures to life. Think of this as the teamwork part of our workout. Okay, here we've got the adjective civil. This word is directly tied to the whole idea of being a citizen. It refers to your public life, your rights, and your responsibilities within a country or a state. It's separate from, say, military life or religious life. And would you look at this huge family tree? From this one idea of citizens and their rights, civil, we get the grand concept of civilization, which is a large organized society. The process of creating that society is to civilize, and the state of being in one is being civilized. I mean, this is a word that has literally shaped history.
This phrase right here just perfectly captures the core meaning: civil rights. These are the fundamental rights and freedoms that every single citizen is guaranteed by law. Things like the right to vote or the right to equal treatment. This is easily one of the most significant phrases in any modern society.
Next up, the adjective literate. Simple definition, but an incredibly powerful concept. It just means being able to read and write. But its noun form, literacy, is often used as a key measurement of a country's level of education and its development. And this is how we apply that idea on a much larger scale. When we talk about a literate society, we're describing a whole population where reading and writing are common, widespread skills. And this ability has a huge impact on absolutely everything, from the economy to politics to culture. It fundamentally changes what a society is even capable of achieving. All right, for our final category, let's get into some words for describing everything. I want you to think of these as high-precision tools for your analytical toolkit. They're going to make your argument so much sharper. This is our precision training, and right after this, we'll finish up with a quick fluency circuit. Okay, let's put two really powerful adjectives head-to-head. We've got crucial and precise. Crucial means it's absolutely essential, like a key ingredient in a recipe. If something is crucial, you literally cannot succeed without it. Precise, on the other hand, is all about being exact and accurate. It's about getting every tiny detail correct. So, think of it this way. Getting the data is crucial, but making sure the numbers in that data are exactly right, that's being precise. See the difference? One is about importance, the other is about accuracy. Okay, team, it's time for our final power-up, the fluency circuit. These are some really common expressions from your vocabulary companion that will make your English sound way more natural. Let's do a lightning round. First up, tend to. You use this for something that usually happens. Like, people tend to get sleepy after a big lunch. Simple, right? Next, out of nowhere. Perfect for something sudden and unexpected. The idea just came to me out of nowhere. Then there's at best. This phrase is great for showing a limit, even in the best-case scenario. For example, his excuse was, at best, a little weak. Moving on, to date from or to date back to. You use these to say when something old started. This building dates back to the 1920s. And finally, to tell a story. Now, this isn't just about kids' books. It means communicating a series of events. You'll often hear it used with data. The evidence tells a story of steady growth. Boom! 5 fantastic phrases for your toolkit.
And workout complete. We've covered abstract ideas, we've talked about systems, society, and some absolutely crucial descriptive tools. We've flexed our word families and powered through a fluency circuit. So now for the most important question. Which of these new words or phrases are you going to establish in your own vocabulary today? Really think about it, and then go out and use it. That's how you get stronger. Awesome work, Route 4.